Hi, I'm going to tell you a story about me when I was about 11 or 12 years old. I decided that what I wanted to be when I grew up was a nun. And so I had a friend, and she said, "Oh, I know where all the nuns hang out." And I'm like, "Oh, you do?" And she said, "Yeah." And she led me to a place that looks like this, and it's way up on a hill in Rochester. I lived in southeast Rochester, and this complex was in the northern side of the town. And to get there, I had to go up a huge hill. So the two of us hopped on our bikes from southeast Rochester and drove all the way up the hill up to the complex where the nuns lived. And we walked right in the front door. This was in the 1960s, and we walked right in. I walked right into it, and I saw the nuns walking around in the courtyard, and they had their Bibles, and they were walking around and reading their Bibles. And I'm like, yep, this is for me. This is what I want to do. And then the girlfriend said, "Well, but you can't be a nun." And I'm like, "What? Why not? Why can't I be a nun?" She said, "Because you're not Catholic." And I went, "Well, why didn't you tell me that before we drove up that big hill?" And it was quite the steep hill because in 2015 I went up there again as an adult, and I went up there with my car, and I went, "Oh, I can't believe that I drove up this road on a bicycle." Anyways, I learned that this building is actually called Assisi Heights. And they are the founders of St. Mary's Hospital in Rochester, and that's where I visited frequently as a child because I was a little bit of a stinker. But my question is, dang, if I hadn't listened to her, because the ladies who live here, they're not nuns. They're Franciscan sisters. And if I had just researched it a little bit and not took the word of this other child, who knows where I would have been today. And maybe I could have had the dream that I wanted. So what I'd like for you to do for your writing assignment today is, have you ever had something that you really wanted to do, a dream, and then somebody else said, "No, you can't do it," or they talked you out? I mean, my girlfriend, she didn't talk me out on purpose. She knew what she knew. She knew I couldn't be a nun, which I'm guessing is probably true, but I could have been a sister. I could have. Did that ever happen? Something like that happened to you? I'd like you to write about it and tell me a little bit about it. Now, maybe something like that hasn't happened to you yet in your life, and maybe you can talk to your parents, and maybe something that has happened in their life that they wish they hadn't given up so quickly on, and things might have been different. Ask them and see if they have something. Write a paragraph and put it in your notebook, and oh, I'm going to so love reading about these. But I guess my message is, just because somebody says something, it doesn't mean it's so. Do the work, do the research, find out the truth.